Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a nice day today, a good day. Today, I wanted to talk about one of the passions I have in life, that is reading. My children wanted me to discuss something about books. I remember I started reading quite early. In fact, I think, in grade 5, which I remember that I started reading actively. By grade 9, I had become an avid reader, and by grade 10, I had become a passionate reader. So passionate, in fact, that I could find any place, any time, and any circumstances to read a book. So, reading was my greatest pleasure. And since ninth grade, it has been like that. So, I have been reading all my life, and I find books to be a source of not only information, but the best part is I can travel the world sitting in just one place. So today I want to talk about a book which is very, very close to me. I've had it almost throughout my reading life. I've had this book, and I don't remember how many hard copies I have bought. I keep buying and gifting this book and keeping one for myself. I have a soft copy, I have a hard copy. So I want to talk about Pride and Prejudice. This is one of my favorite books. I read it for the first time in grade 9, and I have never been able to get over this book. So every year, almost at least once or twice, I do read this book, and I do go back to my favorite pieces in the book, which are I really love the character of Elizabeth Bennet, the one of the sisters among the five, and the way she is so level-headed and she is well read. She has a thought process of her own, which was never encouraged in 18th century England. We face the same story. Strong women will always deter men of less value. So the same thing happens in the book, and of course, the hero's character, Darcy, William Darcy, is absolutely wonderful. If you are interested in reading something nice, then I would suggest pick up a classic in an abridged version. Read the simpler portion of the book or the simpler version, and then read the original. It always makes a huge impact. I remember reading Shakespeare in grade 7 as short stories. And then when Merchant of Venice became part of the syllabus in grade 10 for ICSE, I truly enjoyed Merchant of Venice, which was really, really nice because I already knew the story and I wanted to know more about the original. So, here I would like to read a little extract. Darcy has written a letter to Elizabeth Bennet, and he is trying to explain his conduct over a period of meeting each other. And Elizabeth has brought this image into her mind where she feels that Darcy is arrogant and too rich for any good, and he doesn't look at other people with any sort of humility. So she doesn't have a good impression of Darcy. And moreover, she feels that he has been meddling in her sister's personal life with his friend. So Darcy, as he gets to know Elizabeth and he starts enjoying his conversations with her and her independence and thought process and her way of expressing things, so he is moving towards liking Elizabeth. And he feels bad when she has that kind of an arrogant impression about Darcy. So he writes a letter to her and he explains to her. And the way he starts the letter is really beautiful. He says, "Be not alarmed, madam, on receiving this letter, by the apprehension of its containing any repetition of those sentiments or renewal of those offers which were last night so disgusting to you." So, in fact, he had proposed to her and he had told her that I can't help falling in love with you. And he expected her to fall all over his feet and say thank you. Elizabeth, on the other end, she just looks at him and she says, "Really? You expect me to be happy about it? That you don't like falling in love with me and you have fallen in love with me? Where does that put me? It doesn't put me in a good light." And obviously, I'm not interested in your offer because I don't want somebody to love me out of compulsion. And Darcy is flummoxed. He doesn't know how to react. He never expected a lady to say no to him. And on the basic fact that he was propelled to love her, he didn't love her actually, or didn't want to love her. So, this is what he's talking about when he says that I'm not going to renew those offers. I write without any intention of painting you or paining you or humbling myself by dwelling on wishes which, for the happiness of both, cannot be too soon forgotten. And the effort which the formation of the perusal of this letter must occasion should have been spared, had not my character required it to be written and read. He says, I need to clarify my stand, and I wouldn't have troubled you otherwise. You need to know the truth. You must, therefore, pardon the freedom with which I demand your attention. Your feelings, I know, will bestow it unwillingly, but I demand if of your justice. He says, just give me a little bit of your time. It is written so sweetly, so unthreateningly, and so articulately that after this one paragraph, you feel like reading the 5-page letter. It is almost 4.5 pages of a letter. And you want to know what the gentleman is talking about. So this is what I tell people when I'm discussing reading. Reading is compelling, and the way a writer articulates the language and uses it is what makes you go from one page to the other, to the other, to the other, and by the time you end up reading and finishing a book. This is the effect that Pride and Prejudice has on me every time I pick it up and I read it. I hope that you also have a book which you love to read again and again, and I would really enjoy if I could read your comments and find out more about the books so that maybe I can also brush up my reading. Thank you.